let's talk about actual use of AI in restaurants. This is based upon what I do, the clients I work with, some of the technology firms that I work with, what I'm seeing and hearing in the rest of the industry, and where I think I see the most opportunity. So these are videos taken from a startup that's part of an accelerator program that I'm an advisor to. We talked about that computer vision. These are live videos related to a restaurant. The one on the left is a traffic counter. It's a camera, sits outside, and looks for traffic. It understands what people are moving around, understands what cars are. They can tie that data with event data or weather data to see kind of what the anomalies are, right? So you actually know, instead of getting those old school kind of tire things out there, what traffic looks like. Also can see what traffic looks like coming in out of your restaurant. So that's a video of their front door, and as you can see, it's tracking the people come in and leave. Now you can tie those two things together. What's my traffic look like outside? What's my traffic look like coming in? I happen to like this one the best, but it's also, as a beer drinker, the scariest. So the one on the right is this computer model has been trained to identify what a tap and a hand looks like, and it can see when someone's pouring a beer, and it can tell how many ounces of beer should be missing based upon how long it was pouring, and compare that to the point of sale data to see how much actual beer has been sold. So restaurant marketing. I'm working with one technology company that does email marketing, and actually having it, it's a 3-phase project. The first one is, hey, AI, pick a second subject line out of a catalog we create and split test it against the ones that my marketer picked. Right? The second version is, hey, AI, well, the first version is, you pick it, but we'll let the marketer, can override it. The second version is, the computer picks it. The third version is, you write it, AI. You know what good subject lines work. You know what open lines, open rates we're getting. You know whether or not there should be an emoji in the subject line or not. Same thing goes with email send time optimization, right? The closer your email is to the top of someone's inbox, the more likely it is to get open. So if I know when you tend to open my emails, it would be really great to send it just before then. I've talked a lot about upsell automation. What's interesting is one of the online ordering point-of-sale companies I work with, they see about a 1 to 1.5% upsell sales as a result of human beings coding rules. So, if anybody's got doesn't have a drink on their order, suggest a drink. If they don't have a dessert, suggest a dessert. If they've ordered this in the past, suggest that. But when we let the AI do it, we see about a 1% improvement over that. So typically 2 to 2.5% as a result of doing it. On the loyalty side and on the marketing side, there's also, I mentioned before that AIs are really good at clustering people together. So if you think about your marketing efforts and you want to group people together, you may come up with some ideas like, give me all my soccer moms. Or you may say, give me everybody that spent more than $50. Or give me anybody that orders just on payday, right? But we have to come up with those. What's really interesting is when you ask the computer and the artificial intelligence to start coming up with these, you start seeing groups you never would have expected that your brand should market to and market to differently. Now, right now, what I see is it identifying these groups. What I haven't seen yet is now an AI saying, let's do this with this group, right? So I think that's an opportunity in the future. Where do I see the future going? So I've been saying it for years. Putting information in with your thumbs on your phone is an awful experience. We've all just come to realize. We all just do it because it's part of our lives. Voice is the next generation of technology. Now, voice in the restaurant today largely means we have some online ordering solutions that will take voice commands and let you order, but it's very limited. It's very stepwise, right? Like if they say this, then do this. If they had a previous order that they'd saved, follow the flow. If you leave the flow, it tends to break down. There was a presentation made by Google about artificial intelligence that called and made reservations at a restaurant. Did anybody see that? It was about a year and a half ago. That the human on the other end of the phone who was working at the restaurant had no idea it was a computer, and it made the reservations. Voice technology will be by far one of the biggest disruptors in this space because I say thumbs they're not convenient. And that's going to come both front of the house and back of the house. I think obviously there's pretty real opportunities with customer interaction. I think there's also very real interaction with the staff too. You know, instead of the server running all the way into the kitchen to say something, having it talk into a sensor, it's in their phone, or it's at the table, or wherever. Or maybe ordering at the point of sale, conversational ordering. We all spend time, anybody in the point of sale business, how do I make my point of sale conversational? What if it actually was conversational and it could listen and understand to what the customer ordered and just put it in? And maybe the human's there to correct it at first, but maybe after a while it doesn't have to be. What if you could tell if the front of the house was having an argument with the kitchen staff just by the way they looked and sounded? You could pick up the yelling and screaming. What if you could tell if a guest was unhappy? I know I'm getting into creepy areas here as far as invasion of privacy, but the technology would allow it if we as a society were okay with it.